Welcome everybody to the new LiveWaves webinar session by Arconvert-Ritrama. How high-tech innovation is changing luxury labeling, a joint event with Cartes, Italian leader in the production of printing and embellishing machines for premium labels. My name is Chiara Tomasi and I'm Marketing Manager Fine Papers at Arconvert-Ritrama. Today, we are presenting a new LiveWaves event dedicated to innovation together with Luca Goldoni, International Sales Manager at Cartes, and Micol Valle, Business Development Manager, Italy and Germany at Arconvert-Ritrama. Our guest panelists will discuss the best solution, both in terms of printing equipment and self-adhesive materials for innovative and quality projects, where Cartes' advanced technology perfectly matches the cutting-edge solutions of Manter self-adhesive materials by Arconvert and Ritrama. For any question you may have, use the chat box and we will try to answer to all of you at the end of the webinar. For all the questions left unanswered, we will contact you in a second time. For any kind of technical support or issue you may have during the webinar, our staff is at your disposal to give you the support you need. Please simply write them using always the chat box. The webinar is recorded and you will receive a video in a dedicated follow-up email. And now I leave the floor to Micol.
Thank you, Chiara. Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you to participate to our webinar. I will share my screen. Good afternoon, yes, everyone. I'm Micol Valle, business developer of Arconvert-Ritrama, and I'm taking care of the Italian and German market. Today, I will talk about our luxury range of material, self-adhesive material for wine, spirits, but also gourmet and cosmetic application. Of course, all these kind of market have difficult impact on the paper. So we improve our range thanks to our laboratory to have the opportunity to improve the fridge, the ice bucket at disadvantage. Today, I will show you the Arconvert and Ritrama range for all these kind of application. Let's see in details our improvement technologies. We have here different kind of technology. First of all, you see Ultra WS, that stands for wet strength treatment. Secondly, the barrier technology, H+O, high opacity, X-dry, and the waterproof range. But these combinations are more efficient with the adhesive. So we have here also the 6020 plus adhesive 9020 and the IP 1030. At the end, you see least but not last, the greaseproof technology. Now we are talking about every of this technology by one. So let's start with the Ultra WS technology. It's a co-extrusion of polyethylene between our face soak and the adhesive to improve and avoid the wrinkles in the ice bucket and in the fridge. So we improve this material for the wine range, but not only, also the beverage like rosé and sparkling wine for this kind of application. Let's see some example. This is a case history for a white wine, Lugana. Okay, sorry for this technical issue. Okay, let's talking about this project that use Cotone Extra White Ultra WS. It's a white wine. The concept is about the generation of this family. So the designer created this embossing and debossing thanks to the cotton fibers. This is another example of Cotone Bianco, our paper from Fabriano that is part of the Fedrigoni group with a Ultra WS treatment. It's a piquentum wine that represents, thanks to this die cutting design, the water every month pour to create this wine. It's really nice concept design. And then another example of using the Cotone Bianco Ultra WS, according also with our new material that is Cotone Nero Intense. Nom and space is a gene to create this also different feeling. We touch the cotone and also different sensation of black and white. Moreover, with the technology, we had the barrier technology. That is an application of OPP film between the face sock and the adhesive to perform better on the ice bucket and the fridge application. So we avoid also this humidity that has a problem with our paper usually. What does it mean? So let's see an example directly to compare what if you use industry paper versus Arconvert high-tech treatments. So if you use the right product, you don't have crease, no bubbles, and no deformation of the paper. It's clearly visible in this picture. Here we have an example of a martelé white barrier that has fairy tale oriental history, and the designer take just a part of the project. What does it mean? For example, the first label is a part of a rabbit, the second one of the moon. So you will discover more the fairy tale history all in the label. And then last technology is the waterproof range. That is a coating applied on the both sides of the face sock to perform better and avoid always the wrinkles and the bubbles. So we have a waterproof range available in white, extra white, and ivory ones. So we can say that waterproof range performs like a film. Thanks to this treatment, it's really nice to see, for example, this extra white, that's a color paper loco, that does it mean crazy, and it's a white wine, so always in the ice bucket and in the fridge. Here is another example of waterproof white with this die cutting technique that represents the lace maker of the family. Another interesting project, thanks with our paper waterproof white, create this texture to simulate the sand of the wine hearts. It's really interesting also this project. For all our material, you can download easily our technical data sheet online. And for each product, we have this perform guide that have different reference. In the first chart, you see the ice bucket test, then the fridge test, and at the end, the opacity test. So you see that the waterproof is the best performing paper range. Then we have X-ray, opacity, and the wet strength technology. This kind of technology, we can combine. What does it mean? For example, we have a paper with X-ray treatment, we can add the Ultra WS treatment or the barrier to perform better. The X-ray treatment is a treatment in the pulper of the paper that it's not only on the surface, but it's not visible, but it performs really like a waterproof. So let's see the video who explain this technology.
Test number 1. You're locked inside a fridge, reaching catastrophic, practically Siberian temperatures that would certainly deteriorate any kind of label. excellent, but I'm not done with you. Test number 2. You are at a party and you are sadly abandoned in an ice bucket. Congrats! You are definitely ready to withstand all the water and all the cold in the world.
Okay, let's continue my presentation. So this X-ray treatment is available on 2D's reference, Monet and Picasso. Let's see some example of application of this paper. This is an example of Picasso. You see the texture of this paper. It's a portrait of family that combine the nature of the winery together. So there are two paper on one label. Let's see better in the second slides. And you see and feel almost the Picasso texture. And then here we have also another example with Luxor foil that create also this effect of texture paper. H+O technology is always a treatment also in the pulp of the paper. We added in the Tintoretto Gesso range, so it's available in Tintoretto Gesso, Ivory, and EDP, stand for Indigo Digital Printing, and we add also this treatment for our new paper Sorolla. All these products are available with a Ultra WS treatment to perform always better in the ice bucket and in the fridge. And also, always we can also give the opportunity to request the PET 30 as backing. So let's see here also some interesting case history. For example, this Soapsmith range. The designer take inspiration from the house and the urban style of London, and then this is the soap, so something that is in the bathroom that always has also humidity, so the Tintoretto Gesso has to be really good perform in this condition, wet condition. So this is H+O Ultra WS, and here also we see the body wash. When we are talking about wine, it's important also to highlight the neck label range. Neck label is a self-adhesive defibrate paper. Why? Because we have to use this kind of defibrate paper to avoid the memory effect. It's available also in the Ultra WS range because the bottle of the wine champagne can also be in the ice bucket. So also the neck label has effect with the water. And then we have this greaseproof range, is a technology that Fedrigoni developed for the EVO sector. So it's a treatment in the pulp of the paper to avoid the grease. So as you can see in the slide, you see the difference between the non-greaseproof and the greaseproof. When the oil drop goes down, doesn't destroy the label in the frontal and also in the edge. This kind of solution is possible to use also for the gourmet and the food range, for example, tuna in the grease oil, or also for the cosmetic range when we use like hand cream on grease base. Here we have an example of our Constellation Snow Vergato greaseproof. It's a project for a luxury hotel in Germany, in Hamburg. So it's a really high-level product, and thanks with this technology, the label is not destroyed. So the oil doesn't destroy the paper. and you also feel the natural of the paper. This project, Day and Night, is a project on natural paper, so a white paper, and represent the cycle of the life. So the day is a bee, that it's a team worker, hard worker, and the night represented by a butterfly, that is like the metamorphosis of the life. This is an interesting project on Tintoretto Gesso Greaseproof for an olio extravergine di oliva that represents the mountain behind the olive tree, and the designer studio created the effect of the sunset and the dawn. So they use different color, warm color and cold color, together in one label to create this harmony on the label. Tintoretto Pearl Greaseproof, it's also a shiny paper because Tintoretto Pearl gives this shiny effect to give more luxury on the label, and it's a cosmetic product, and here the concept are the garden of the French garden, so really like ordinary garden, and to create this micro embossing that created this really elegant effect. And then here you have an example of a beauty spa cream. So we talked about before also for the cosmetic sector, and Tintoretto Pearl, the shiny to give more value on the label. And thanks with Fedrigoni, we have also the packaging with the same label. So at the end, we are talking about also the adhesive. We said that they have different kind of adhesive for the glass application. When we talk about luxury, like wine, cosmetic, and spirits, is always on glass application. So we have the first adhesive, 6020, the second, that is a new adhesive for our range, 9020, and then the AP 1300. Let's see in details each by one. So the 6020 is a water-based acrylic. It's repositionable, as you can see on the right. So what does it mean? That you can replace the label and then it will be permanent. So you have time to reset the label. And of course, in combination with Ultra WS, it performs good with a wet opacity. The 9020 is the new adhesive, always a water-based acrylic adhesive, and it's permanent. Already in 40-80 hours, performs perfect on the glass application. So it's not repositionable like the 6020. And also with this adhesive, we can have the combination with the Ultra WS treatment to perform always better in the ice packet and in the wet condition. The last one is AP 1300, is an UV acrylic adhesive. So it's different than the other two and has performance also in the condensation on the bottle that sometimes can happen, this kind of application. And it's possible available with the barrier and the Ultra WS in combination. So please doesn't hesitate to contact me for further information, and follow us on our website and social media to see this wonderful case history and discover more on our material. Thank you.
So first of all, good day to everyone, and thanks for being here with us. And my name is Luca Goldoni. I'm the International Sales Manager in Cartes, and I'm going to try to explain you what Cartes does, and I will try to introduce to you our portfolio of products in regards of our production and machine that we produce. So I hope you can see my screen. So this is the presentation about Cartes in regards of this possibility that Arconvert gave us, and I thank you Arconvert as well for this possibility. So let's start. We can see again, just a second. Okay. So what we can see here is a quick timeline about the story of Cartes. So basically Cartes has been founded in 1970. So we are on the market since 50 years. And everything started in Italy. So Cartes is a 100% Italian company, and all our machines are engineered, manufactured in Italy. So from the 70s, we started in producing 3D machine for textile and self-adhesive market. After that, the success brought us to invest more in particular in the graphic market, and we got a lot of growth in the international market. So Cartes is mainly focused on the export and foreign markets, and this has been really a good boost for us in order to really succeed in the future years. In 1990, we got many market diversification. So every market has special requirement needs in regards of the different products that they needed to produce, and that's why Cartes invested in a new machine range in order to cover in this type of request in both the textile and the self-adhesive label markets. We obviously continued in developing new machines, try to find a solution to some of those issues that the printing shops were facing in processing the substrates. And that's the point or the date where we start to introduce to the market the laser converting technology, or generally named the digital converting. This has been really a good step for Cartes in order to change the way in where material could be converted. Then we have really many years of success in regards to this technology. In 2012, we got this small natural event, which because of an earthquake, we basically lost our production plant, but we have seen this like an opportunity for completely rebuild our production and make everything much better and modern than what was in the past. Innovation and research started obviously until nowadays, and Cartes has always invested in again research and new technology in order to provide to our partner, because generally we are speaking not about customer but partner, always better solution in regards of our machine. In 2020, so just exactly after 50 years from let's say the first opening, we decided to open a second branch in the United States. That's a pretty interesting market for us, and in order to succeed in that market, yeah, we decided to have one of our branch in that area. Here we have some numbers about Cartes. So, okay, we are one demo center, 2 locations. We are based in the northern part of Italy, between Verona and Bologna, let me say. We are on the market since 50 years. We are present in 90 countries worldwide. We have more than 4,000 machines installed, a production area of 10,000 square meters, and this are the smaller number but pretty important. So we have 21 years of experience in the laser technology and more than 300 laser machines installed worldwide. As you can see, we are present everywhere worldwide, in any continent basically. And this is coming the interesting part about our products and our portfolio of solutions. So we have seen many substrate obviously provided by Arconvert and explained by Arconvert, a lot of technology over the substrate, and this nice substrate and materials obviously needs to be converted in order to achieve the nice labels that we have seen in the previous slides showed by Nicole. So what we are going to introduce to you today are a couple of series between our range of machines. One is named GT360, which is basically the machine that we can see in this slide. This is one of the many configurations that only we can achieve. And this series is mainly focused in printing, embellishing, and finishing for self-adhesive material. As I was saying, Arconvert has really invested in order to provide this nice straight and material, and the same type of technology in order to get really a good result and a good nice label from both the visual and also the let's say the feeling that you can have in touching the material. You need to have an equipment able to print and convert this type of substrate. This is for showing that the GT360 is a modular machine. With modular, we mean that the customer is really able to decide the exact configuration which can match perfectly their production or printing needs. And further to this, the machine can also be changed or upgraded in the configuration in a second step. So basically, the customer is able to change the configuration, buying or adding, or even change the position of the units anytime he wish afterwards the purchasing. We are going to see some details about the machine in order to let you better explain and understand the type of label and result which can be printed. So this is the input of the machine, and what we can see here is a special system which is named LOL, which stands for labels on label. And the reason for this system is for producing this type of label. So what we can see here is a sort of multi-level label in order to let the customer who is buying the bottle of wine to get a really nice feeling and a nice metallic effect of the label. So nowadays the products which is on the shelf really need to catch the attention and let's say the eyes of the buyer. And further to the substrate, which is for sure the most important part of our job, we need to create something special, particular with this material. And this is what we can see with this device. So basically a multi-layer effect in order to have this metallic effect over the label. Then another printing unit which is available in our portfolio is the hot stamping printing unit. So again, this unit is used for having flat foiling or embossing, blind embossing over the labels in order to achieve this type of effect. So this is one of the labels that we produce for the 50s anniversary that we got. So what we can see here is flat foiling, a nice embossing effect in different colors, hologram application register in order to also grant the quality and of the material, and also some fine details again printed with this hot stamping technology. Another effect always obtained with the hot stamping unit is this debossing, and this is this type of effect is possible thanks also to the technology which is coming from the substrate. So this type of lower area is possible really thanks by the hot stamping unit and the substrate itself. This is another system which is possible to have on the hot stamping unit. So basically is named Epastillage device, and we are able to create holes inside the label in order again to give much more possibility to the designer to decide and to realize their, say, labels, so not only in their mind but also from the production point of view. In our range, we also have the Flexo unit for printing spot color, like what we can see here. So this is one of the finishing that sometimes is required in the wine leather industry. So spot color Flexo or an overcoating in order to protect the printed label, for avoiding that because of the brushing during transport, the substrate is going to be brushed or ruined. Again, we have one of the best seller in the machine configuration or unit itself, which is the screen printing unit. And the screen printing unit, I would say that since the beginning is a must in order to have the type of finishing that you can see in most of the cosmetic, wine, and generally beverage self-adhesive labels. So we can see high build effect, we can see a flat color like the black color that we have behind, or we can see this type of bright effect, which is named metal doming, which means that basically above the high build effect obtained with the screen printing unit, we can apply a foil just in some selected area in order to achieve this nice effect, and much brighter than the conventional hot stamping colors. For reaching some news, because we were speaking about investment and new technology, this is one of the new unit that we have just showed to the market. It's named JDS, which stands for Jet Screen. This is, let me say, slightly different from the conventional printing technology present on the embellishing or finishing market. This is a digital screen printing unit, and is able to make a similar job or finishing or embellishing like we have seen before for the conventional screen printing, but with some advantages. First of all, we are able to obviously produce high build varnishing, so high build effect. We are able to produce multi-level high build effect, something which is not possible with a conventional screen printing unit, because with the multi-step option, we can have on the same label different levels or thicknesses. Then obviously can be used for making the braille effect. Can also be used for the metal dome, so basically the same bright high build effect that we have seen before, and is a toolless embellishing system that nowadays it's pretty useful in concerning of the short run that is affecting some jobs. And the other advantage is the thickness that we can achieve. We can achieve with one single pass up to 180 micron with a really high speed, and that's an advantage for again proposing to the market something which generally is not possible with the conventional screen printing unit. This is one of the label printed with the JDS, so with the digital screen printing unit. So what we can see here is a CMYK job printed with a digital press, and then we can see the high build effect. This is something like 180 micron thickness. We can see the metal doming, so the application of a foil on the top of the high build effect. And that's something which is not really possible to let you understand through an image, but all these fine and wider details are not possible with the conventional screen printing, but they are with this new unit. So this is one of the really news that we have proposed to the market since a few months. This is another similar label, again produced with the digital screen, and then we are reaching two units which are the easiest from the type of job, but they are the converting units, so the semi-rotary die cutting and the laser die cutting system that we will see later in a video. These are some label produced with the laser solution and with the laser technology, where we are pioneers, so we can see some label with some embellishing effect like hot stamping and screen printing, and then some effect produced with the laser, so a cut-through effect for making hole, a micro perforation, and then we have again weird design, again with a cut-through, so you can see behind the label. And this is really giving the possibility to the printing shop to realize some peculiar and nice label. This is the output of the machine, but there are not too much to say about this. And at this time, I would like to show you a video about this type of machine. Let me just I'm here again. So let's go back to the second series of machine that I would like to introduce to you. So what we have seen before, again, is a video about the GT460, and we have seen the machine in action for producing some of the labels or finishing that we have discussed and see before on the labels. Gemini series, this is the second bestseller that we have in our portfolio. Is a machine mainly focused over the converting, because of the one part of the job is print over the substrate, and the second part is convert in order to make the label suitable for the labeling and application of the final products. So what we can have and propose on the Gemini series is a conventional converting in regards of the configuration. And what we can see here is a machine equipped with a Flexo unit and a dual laser head. As I was saying, Cartes is a pioneer in the laser technology applied to the interior market. And our advantage has been to work with a company able to provide us particular laser sources, which is named semi-sealed, which grant endless lifetime of the laser source. And the The second advantage is about the possibility to have solved some of the issues and limitations which were affecting the processability of the substrate in the wine label or in the cosmetic market. This again is another machine with a similar configuration, so we can see, we can see again that the running web is in the opposite way, so is from right to left. And again, we have a Flexo unit, a laser cutting unit, and an automatic output unit that we will see later in a video after the presentation. In order to cover the market request, we have obviously available the conventional die cutting solution. So this is a semi-rotary die cutting unit that anyway represent the most common way for converting the self-adhesive material. This is the automatic output, which is named ATR360, which is basically automatic tool rewinder in order to make the job and the working life of the operator much easier than what generally is possible in the conventional machine. In regards to the, let us say, limitation that generally the market and the printing shop can find in the use of the laser technology, I would like to show you and share with you this dare to compare file. So what we can see in this label, which has been, let's say, produced for enlightening, which are the issues which are affecting the laser technology, we can see a weird shape. So the design of this label is really weird, which means that stripping the matrix can be difficult during the production. We can see the same label. This one is completely black, and this one is showing a white line all around. This is one of the main issues that in the past stopped a possible user or a printing shop to buy the laser technology, because in case of dark printed label, doesn't matter if we are speaking about paper substrate or plastic substrate, the effect that you can see is this one, to have a white edge all around. And this is because the laser is cutting with an angle. So basically you can see the middle part of the material. So with one of our solution, which has been patented, we have been able to solve this material, this issue. So basically the material is delaminated from the baking liner, is cut from the rear side, so from the adhesive side. And then the front liner is laminated again on the same baking liner. So there are no extra costs for changing the liner, and the white edge is basically disappear. The other advantage in having this solution on the laser technology is that in regards to the type of substrate, in particular if we are speaking about the natural paper and coated stock material with a strong adhesive, which are present over the market. So Micol has introduced some of this substrate in her presentation. We are able really to achieve good result in regards of the engraving of the baking liner. So because the front liner is not smooth like in the conventional, let me say, cheap coated paper, when we are speaking about a natural paper, we have a rough surface. And because we are cutting from the material, from the baking liner, and the baking liner is basically untouched by the laser, we are able to properly process the material without any damage to the baking liner. And this is another issues that generally the printing shop has to face when processing materials with the laser technology. This is a close-up about the white edge. So you can see the material cut in the conventional way from the front, and here you can see the material cut from the rear side with the ILC option. So this is the end of the presentation. I'd like to show you in regards to the Gemini series the last video, and then we will start with the answer and question session. So let me share the video.
Thank you, Luca, for this comprehensive presentation about Cartes technologies and innovation systems. Now it's time for our Q&A session. So I ask our participants to please write their questions in the chat box, and we will try to answer all of them. Let's see the first question. Oh, this is for you, Luca.
Yep.
Which are the advantages in having a digital screen printing unit as part of the machine configuration in this type of machines?
Okay, so thanks for the question. Yeah, the digital screen printing, it's really an advantage compared with the conventional screen printing unit. Partially for the reason that I was showing during the presentation, so the possibility to have multi-level effect on the same label, the possibility to print wide or fine details over the same label, something which is not possible with the conventional screen printing. And the other advantage is the how easy it is compared with the conventional screen printing technology. So you don't have to deal again with varnish solvent frames, which has to be cleaned. And obviously is also a toolless system. So there is a cost saving over the technology itself. So you can print using no tools basically. And in regards to the short run, this is really an advantage.
Okay, thank you, Luca. I have another question for Micol. Is it possible to use a natural paper, for instance, made of cotton fibers for a white or a sparkling wine?
Thank you, Chiara, for the question. Yes, of course. We already saw an example of Cotone Bianco for a Lugana. It's a white wine because we have the treatment Ultra WS that protect also the label. Also, we have also like the Materica range that has cotton fibers and recyclable fibers. Always this range has also the Ultra WS treatment. So yes, the reply is yes, you can use it, these kind of different fibers in the pulper. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now I have another question for Luca. Why does Cartes use semi-sealed laser sources for its machine?
Okay, thanks, Chiara. Yeah, okay, so from the beginning, we started the cooperation with this international company, which has been able to provide us this technology. And we prefer to stay with the semi-sealed laser technology because basically the lifetime of the laser source is endless. So this means a constant cutting power during all the production phase and during the years of life of the machine. There is no need to refurbish, which is the technical word for saying that the laser source does not have to be replaced after few thousand hours, and this only is a cost saving for the printing shop. Because we were speaking before about the number of installation in terms of laser and how old we are in regards to this technology. The first laser machine has been installed in 1999, and the same laser machine is still running with the same laser source with initial cutting power. So this is the proof that is a technology that really is matching what we are saying and keeping as promise.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Luca. I have another question now for Micol. What's the real difference between X-dry and waterproof technologies? Okay,
yes. So the difference is that the X-dry is a treatment in the pulper of the paper. Instead, the waterproof is a coating on the both sides of the paper. So it's different technology, you know. We have a waterproof range that it's already have like this coating. And then the X-dry, we add the treatment in the pulper. Now it's available in Picasso and Monet reference.
Okay, thank you. I've got another question for Luca, the last one for Luca. Is there any limitation in the use of the ILC, invisible laser cutting option?
Okay, so okay, I have to be honest and I have to say yes. So, let's say any machine technology and so on has limitations. So that's true. So the main limitation that we have in this technology, so basically when the material is cut from the rear side, so from the adhesive side, is in the design of the label. So basically, if the label is really small, so I speak about some like 30 millimeter in diameter or even less, it can be an issue process the material because we are not able to properly position the label after the cutting. And the other limitation is about the design itself. So if the label is requiring a cut through, so a complete hole in the label, this cannot be done from by the use of the IC because we don't have the possibility to remove this inner part. From the other side, it's anyway possible, even if the customer is looking for this technology, work in the conventional way. So for sure, the advantages in having this option are much more than the limitation or disadvantages.
Clear. Thank you, Luca. And then I have the last question for Micol. Is it possible to use your papers also for the gourmet food, cosmetics, and other luxury applications? Probably,
Yes.
probably they are asking if these applications are meant to be in the bathroom or in challenging environments.
Yes, the reply is yes. We have also the grease-proof wrench that is possible to use for cosmetic, gourmet, and also oil sector. So we can use both of these technology for different market and different kind of application. And also for the bathroom, we can use the waterproof and the treatment in contact with the wet environment and humidity. Yeah, thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you both for for being with us today. If you like this webinar, I'm talking to the participants now. We are looking forward on receiving you again on September 23rd at our upcoming event with the famed Spanish designer Morillas. It's a very famous design studio in Spain, working on an international level. And we're going to focus on new trends and requirements of the gourmet and cosmetic sectors. The title will be Organic is the New Black. Such an interesting title. So follow us on our social profile to register and save your spot on time. Thank you and goodbye. See you soon.
Thank you, everyone. I'm available for any doubts.
Thank you from my side as well, and thanks for your time and for being with us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.